I'm the Irrelevant Critic, where I try my best to stay relevant, and yeah, I know, you haven't seen me for 7 months. Well, I mean, unless you're counting the meme post, then it's been 5 months, but still. The last proper Irrelevant Critic video was 7 months ago, and that happens to be the longest video on my channel to date. So I should probably explain where I've been and what's been happening to me. Well, to start off with the obvious is the pandemic. It's affected everyone. Me and my family is no exception. And that discouraged me to not make as much content than I wanted to. And I really wanted to, which I'm going to show you later. And the other reason for my discouragement of making videos was school. I had to focus more on that. And then there was some other things I had to focus on, like family matters, personal matters, you name it. So the status of this channel is I'm not going to try making it dead. I'm not even sure I'm going to make this a promise, but I want to do these quick little videos where I'm just going to try to spew out my mind more in one take instead of just planning out a script. I mean, I could have like a notebook full of ideas of what I want to talk about, but for now, it's just going to be like this with a lot of background noise because I'm in a different quote-unquote studio. As you can hear by that airplane in the distance, I don't know if you can hear that. Well, aside from all that, I have been making a comic. I've been writing a comic because the thing is about art and creativity is that sometimes it's not like really a certain thing. Like drawing is a part of it, but then it's at the same time painting and video editing technically is an art, believe it or not, because you have a certain style that you want to define with it, and I really went into that. I really wanted to try to fulfill that, but I've only made 3 Irrelevant Critic videos that try to show that off, and that was an editing app that I used, and they couldn't even handle an 11-minute video. So, well, yeah, at least I'm recording this on my computer now. Anyways, let's try to show off some scrapped content I have. Like, for starters, the so-called Batman Arkham Origins video I planned on making. And you can see in the first paragraph, I was trying to be so self-aware that I'm going to be one of those, like, cartoon reviewers or whatever. But, with video games. The ones with the arms folded over, all angry, ranting about, Family Guy. But anyways, yeah, this was way too long for my standards, making a video. And because this was supposed to be the first video after the update, but that, the Undertale video came in place of it. So I actually did scrap this one. Like, it's unfinished now, but there's some points I wanted to say. Like, I really like the story. And then there's one that hasn't aged well of Bane in the game being a good character. My bad. Yeah, I said Bane is being my favorite character in this, but I didn't go back and play the game. I watched a cutscene and I realized Bane's slightly dumb. I'll probably explain that more in one of those one take long videos or whatever. And aside from that, I talk about the obvious, how good Joker is in this game, and then how also good Bruce's character is, believe it or not. Because I don't think the other Arkham games have showed Bruce's character. I may be wrong. I've only played Origins. I haven't played the others like Asylum, City, and Night. Yeah, and my last words are thankfully on this. As if I'm, like, thankfully relieved, thankfully rid of it. Well, anyways, let's see. On to the next scrap script. And this was supposed to be the 4th video of the Irrelevant Critic lore, I guess. I don't know. Should I call it lore? So this video was supposed to be a rant on the Breath of the Wild champions. Character-wise, not gameplay-wise. Gameplay-wise, they're fun. But, again, the characters are what kind of drag them down. Because you see, the incentive to save them isn't as strong as it tries to make it out to be. And compared to, yeah, believe it or not, I compared them to Marin from Link's Awakening. And I tried to tell her how she's more present in the story and how it makes it more impactful for her to be a participant in whatever in the game, you know? I'm not going to spoil much because I know that Link's Awakening DX was a game that came out a couple years ago. And what kind of ruins this argument I had was the fact that I tried to say that one of the champions is still as good as her, which is Mipha. And I realized that this last portion I made, it didn't sit well with me, so I had to just kind of stop. And yeah, again, also due to the pandemic, I didn't really dedicate my time to actually voicing this or having any clips for what was supposed to be of this review. So now we're gonna go to the next scrapped thing. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about Attack on Titan. Yes, because believe it or not, I actually didn't initially like Attack on Titan, the first season of it, the very first arc portion or whatever. And then I watched it again recently, and I actually really liked season 1, the entirety of it. But then we hit season 2, and I wanted to talk about that one. But then kind of just didn't feel like it. And I never even dedicated myself to actually writing it. And oh yeah, here's another one that I still am trying my best to actually talk about. It's a Scott the Wasp video. I'm not gonna spoil this one or that video, but just know that these were some things that I really wanted to do. And then here's another one. How many plot holes can ruin a movie? I wanted to do this discussion because I've met with a bunch of, I wouldn't say comic book movie nerds, but they're people that actually tried to find a consistent story, consistently written story. And apparently a lot of comic book movies don't have a lot of consistency to them. Yikes. So yeah, I wanted to do that as my participation to this kind of thing, but then I realized, why don't I just pitch in my own criticism of comic book movie or show? So I'm thinking of doing one on Spectacular Spider-Man, and you'll possibly see that eventually, depending on how this goes, right? And here's another one, a game's simplicity and complexity. I wanted to do this based around fighting games and Tetris, but I feel like that's kind of being a little bit too redundant. It's too redundant because, you kind of, sometimes when you figure out why a game is so fun, it's kind of self-explanatory for you. But then when you have an RPG or whatever, then yeah, it's gonna get complicated to say why it's fun. Is it for the story? Is it for the turn-based gameplay that you're gonna be stuck with for 4 hours? I guess. But anyways, yeah, it's in the works. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm probably gonna try to do this one. And yeah, that's pretty much. Oh yeah, hold up! I forgot to show you. I actually have the thumbnail for the Breath of the Wild video. I forgot that I had this. And yeah, I wanted to. I'm actually really proud of this. Actually, no. But I had a problem with the border. That's all, because I'm blocking. I think his name's Rivali. I'm blocking this guy's way. So, I guess. I mean, yeah, this thumbnail is still gonna be out there eventually, hopefully. I don't know, because I really like the work I put into this one compared to, the Devil May Cry thumbnail. It's okay, so now I think that's all the scrap content I have. So, I guess this is the end of the video now. And after I say goodbye, we're just gonna put some bloopers of some videos that I did, believe it or not. Because, hey, I have bloopers. Because who wouldn't have bloopers? I'm the Irrelevant Critic, and whatever I do in review is relevant. Check out the bloopers.
Oh, what did you just catch me with? I'll tell you what it is. It's Gatorade's new flavor, crystal clear. It's definitely not water.
Well, you know where you're gonna go? Dio Brando's castle. Because I'm doing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I've been standing here for 12 hours.
I don't care. But do you remember?
Oh, what the? Hey. Oh.
Why, Jim?
Damn it.
What the heck is
Okay. I'm still recording.
That's the one smacked with the pillow.
Wait, what?
I have your permission to do that because you just said so.
No, I never said that. I never. What's it called? I never been okay with that. No, it's not a mess up. Greetings. I am the spooky Quitic. Yeah, Quitic. Kuwu.
Agni and Ruda, I love the fact that the boss isn't the two headless bros, but they're the swords. Aside from that, the fight itself is challenging and punishes you for not being aware of your surroundings. With the ultimate challenge being the final phase, when one of the brothers has fallen and the other has to use both swords to fight you.
And now that your chances of sparing Asgore are gone, you have no choice but to fight him. You're now left with facing the true king everyone has been talking about, the collector of human souls, and the deadliest and strongest of monsters. But at the same time, there's a feeling of skibbity bop that